You know, people say he's got an old head on his shoulders. Harry has. But he doesn't mean brains.
Foley!
Right then, we'll stop abusing Harry for his premature baldness. So, TT, this one's going to be a bit interesting. So it's going to be starting the workshop and hopefully finish at the track with lots of smiley faces. But we'll see. So, rear subframe gone. Front subframe, standard. So these are the Verkline subframes. That one's got a crack in it here. So both of them are going back. The credit is on them, so fair play to the customer service. But they've not worked for what we want. We think, we're not sure yet, we think these are flexing too much and causing us problems. So they're going, we're just going to sort something else out for that. So the other change that we probably didn't document too much because it was a bit experimental, but these are some ball joints we've made. So they're 20mm longer than the standard ones. So as you can see, we're very close to inside at wheel. And I don't know if it's this wheel or the other one or any of these ones. No, these have been swapped. But these bolts, when the wheel turns, we're catching at the track.
It's definitely got
So we've sorted that out anyway. So the only thing that we're losing from these subframes is this here. This is sort of lifting your arm up to fix your roll centre. So we're losing that effect, which is not ideal, but we can live with it. Now the other thing we're trying to fix here, the rear subframe, no cracks, nothing wrong with it. I do like how all this stuff works, because you can lock it off and not have any problems with your camber moving and stuff like that, which seemed to be in the toe, which were a big problem on the stock subframe. But as you can see, this is another standard one. Paul's already started chopping it up. So what we're trying to achieve here now, we're trying to lift the roll centres on the rear of this to make it handle a bit better, because we just seem to get to the point where we're having to go stiffer and stiffer and stiffer on the springs, stiffer on the roll bars. That generally is a sign that your roll centres are all to cock. So we measured them and they were, so we lifted the cars up and they handled better, but still not how we wanted them to, because the centre of gravity were quite high then, the roll centre was still quite low. So we've decided we're going to have to go extreme, roll centre adjusters, chop the rear subframe, then we might jig it and make our own sort of tubular one. So I've spoke to Verkline before we've done all this stuff and they're not really interested in making anything modified, which I can understand why if people don't want it, but why would you want a subframe that pretty much has got the same geometry as standard when you're lowering the car? But anyway, that's by the by. So Paul's going to modify this. Hopefully we can get all the geometry we want. We're going to have to chop everything to bits and move it, but at least we're in charge of that. We've got 3 of these subframes so we can make a mess 3 times and it not cause any problems, and we've still got these as a backup anyway. The other thing, these are the rear shocks. These are from the other TT. I'm sending these back off to Bilstein and we're going to put these to the TCR spec, because they should have been stiffer than they are, I'd have said, but the specs were based on the Golf, which the Golf just works, so we have no reason to change that. But for some reason the same geometry doesn't give us the same results as the Golf, which is annoying. So we're going to send these off and get them stiffer. Springs, we're going to change them on the front to softer. The rear are going to probably stay at that, and then we'll see how we get on with that. And then we've got this anti-squat stuff to play with if we want to, which I didn't like it when we played with that before. I'd probably not get that again. These are pretty handy because you can adjust the camber. You can adjust the camber there without having to take the arm off, which is good, a lot better than the original setup. We've made some top mounts, we've made our own custom top mounts up there. That's so that we can play with the rear ride eye, and then we've got, it's easy to see on here, we've got these little adjustments to finely tune the drooping as well, so we can limit it a little bit more. So yeah, lots to do. Paul's going to keep playing. We'll probably come back to this when he's finished welding and we can have a look at the geometry. Maybe we'll put a picture up of what the geometry looks like before we've done all these. Still, Harness has got some model, and then we're going to come up with a test plan for while we're at the track. And we've got somebody who can drive properly driving the car, so we'll see when we get there. So we're getting somewhere. So there's no springs in. So we've had these on, which are crap, super trackers, throw them in bin. But we've got a bit of so we've lifted roll centre up, so as you can see, this is at droop obviously, but the arm is pointing down now. And the other thing we've had to do, we've had to move this here, which should be fine. So this has stopped the bump steer now. So yeah, we'll see if that works. Next job, we need to check the motion ratio, which is how much the wheel moves versus how much the spring moves, which I'm sure it was 0.75. So that means if we've got a 100 Newton spring there, it's only acting like a 75 Newton spring at the wheel. And we need to have roughly a 20% difference front to rear, we reckon. We want to be stiffer on the back, so we need to measure that, and then we're going to have quite a soft front spring, but we're going to go stiffer on the rear anyway, so we shall see. So we've just done the alignment again just to be sure. Rob put these on, which should help us spoil the moving. We're going to redesign all this, but we haven't bothered. So yeah, all good. See what corner weights are. Yeah, not bad. Phil's there waiting, ready to go for it, aren't you, Phil? Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. I think it happened at 9:30 this morning. Bad times. Been on its lid. Not that I don't like rain, but not going to help us with testing. Yeah, plenty of grip it wet. I think we regret turning traction control off on TTs, because if we were trying to race the Golfs without traction control it wet, we're going to struggle. Yeah, it's brightening up now, so we might get out. We'll see.
But I think it's just greasy everywhere, so. But the balance feels pretty good. It hasn't got any more front than rear or whatever you think. It's definitely not skittish, Paul. Yeah. It's not wanting to let go, I don't think. Yeah.
Still Arnos is telling me how good I've been driving, even though I was slow. So what we're doing?
So we are doing stuff with the place.
The lap times were terrible, but
yeah, but it's wet. And the tires were not at the temperature.
Yeah.
So yeah, so look at your turning here eventually. Which half speed? You went very aggressive and it followed.
Yeah.
Which is really good, I think.
Yeah, sweet. Positive. Feels good. So the car feels a bit better. Phil's going to go out in it now, and then I'm going to go out in the Golf and see how we get on with that. We'll see.
like comp stick, you turn, like you go down the straight and it's just, it's like the pickup points are in the wrong place.
Yeah.
If Phil's not happy with the rear dampers, we've got stiffer spring, stiffer dampers. So we've got one more check. We can just increase damper clicks, then we can try them.
It's the diff.
Oh, is it? What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's better. We just need to go stiffer at the rear.
Stiffer even more?
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost flat down the craners. It's like... Stiffen them right up.
Stiffen the front?
No, the back.
The back?
Yeah.
All the way up?
Yeah, all the way up.
Yeah.
think it's just too bloody soft on the springs.
Yeah. If it would just try springs now,
I
then
think
just
so.
go for it.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
bother messing around.
Yeah, we can do it.
So dampers have not made as much difference as we'd hoped. To the springs though.
It's sort of starting to jack the rear of the car now. It's starting to jack the rear of the car.
Okay.
But it's like it almost doesn't need a front anti-roll bar, which is wrong.
Or very correct.
So it's the end of the day now, getting into the evening session. We've not booked on, we've been told it's full, but we're going to work on the car, see if we can make it better. Still not happy with it. Let Rob have a go, and Rob thinks it's alright. He don't think it's as bad as we expected. Compared to his car, he didn't get a go in his car, which was a bit annoying really. But the guy was driving what needed to go. It's not Rob's fault. Doing as much else. Yeah, he don't think it's as bad as we're making out, but I still think we can improve it. So hopefully we'll go down there and speak to them, and they'll book us on, they'll let us on, at least get an hour of running. Because we're here now, Phil's going to stay. I think we can make it a bit better. Rob's kindly lent us his string line kit, we can keep that. one in the workshop, which will help us because the other one was on back order that we ordered 2 weeks ago. So yeah, a lot of cars here that nobody's running at the minute. Wait for sighting laps to disappear and then it'll be our turn. Yeah, we'll a bit disappointing, so we'll keep trying. Finally adjusted the rear arms, gone back down with it. Hopefully that makes a difference, we'll see.
So the tracking's all over it, the steering wheel's down there and it goes that way.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's gone quicker that time, so he's happy, but the alignment's not quite nice, so a bit hard to get it nice and settled how we're doing it at the minute. We need to play with air jacks and get them up higher with elephant's feet, so this is where it could all go wrong. Oh dear, this is sketchy. Why is it not going up? Is it like going to fall over? Basically what you'd have to do when you're getting these onto second stage is connect your lance up and turn your bottle on very slowly, which with this rubbish bottle that we need to replace is not easy because it's kind of like a safety valve that doesn't really want to come on slowly. So Rob come and did it, and what he said is how they normally do it when they're doing GT Cup and whatever it is, they'll have somebody either on each corner or at least on fronts while there's somebody at back, and just as it's coming up a bit unevenly, just help it into position. So it is what it is. It nearly fell off, but looks pretty cool on these stands. So what we didn't get round to saying is these ones then replace the yellow stands. You could probably use them yellow ones, but these ones clip in nicely onto everything so it can't go anywhere. So basically this is like rock solid. You know, you've got it. If you're doing an engine swap, you don't want to be this high, but you know, you don't be arriving on things, but if you've got to do something underneath, it's perfect. We're going to just bank alignment strings on it a little bit now, just see where we are, see if something's gone weird. What we're doing now is swapping that washer from the bottom to the top. That should affect the anti-dive, because we're not getting any dive, so we want dive.
tracking's still all over the place.
Is it?
Yeah, it's come down there like that and it's still pulling. I think what it does now is it's rolling more. It feels like it moves more, but it's skipping around a lot.
Right. So, hopefully this video has not been terribly boring. It's going to take a bit of jazzing up, I'm pretty sure. But the day's over. The TT is there. We've definitely made progress. During the video it might have told you what the ideal time was, that's more indicative. Especially if you do a few laps. Phil generally is only doing a couple at a time. But pro driver, he gets straight on it, knows it's better on the out lap. If it's worthwhile carrying on, he does a couple of laps. If not, it's coming after one. But yeah, the ideal time is more indicative of what the car will do. If you're in a bit of traffic, you can stitch it together. So yeah, happy. Not happy with how much time I got in the car, but Phil did want me to get in it more, and I just said I'm not happy with what we've found so far. So we tested pretty much everything we wanted. The only thing we didn't get, the last session, we slapped some new tyres on, so these have just literally been scrubbed for 2 laps. We didn't get a chance to test how good they were, because it was a checkered flag. We had a bit of problem with spacers and stuff like that, so that was a bit annoying. Yeah, do what we need to do. Phil showed us how to drive, so we've got a bit of data. So this is getting loaded up now onto the truck, which we're just messing about here. There the Golf's on. So the Golf's ready to race on Saturday. We're going to load this up, and then as soon as I get it off the truck, it's getting clean, getting all sorted. Thank you to Phil. And then he's a man of many, many words off camera. Yeah, happy with what we've done. Not 100% happy with how the car is at the minute. There's still more to do, so we're going to have a play as best we can. Have a play with some dampers and stuff like that, but still we can make it better. Maybe the rear subframe cam showed us some stuff we need to have a look when we get back to work and watch it on the proper computer. Yeah. Thank you for watching. This is the journey of trying to set up your car and you think you already know what you're doing.